Hello, friends. Well, I have an exciting news. Hello, friends. Well, I am making a very big announcement right now. 4chan is now going to be called BrightChan. We're renaming it to brightchan.org, and I'm going to run it. There's two magical things happening right now. Murphy's Law says if I open BrightChan and I put all the work into getting it live, the same moment I go live, 4chan will reopen. So it's my way to trick the universe into making them open 4chan. Now, if the universe doesn't want 4chan.org to exist anymore, then the universe will gift the community to me. So I can't lose. Now, are you sitting down? Have you ever wanted to be a janitor? Well, I got good news. Jessica set up a GoFundMe, and we're raising money for servers to run this. For $100, you will be a janitor at the new brightchan.org, and I will send you official hat, a BrightChan janitor hat, and a BrightChan janitor shirt. Both will be autographed by me. So, thanks, Pat. Not much I can do about the buffering. Sorry. Make sure I get it's only 83 degrees. Oh, I should turn on the air conditioning. Hold on a sec. We'll have to, it's going to take a while for me to get you the hat and t-shirt, because we're going to have to wait for the GoFundMe to close. Then when I get the money, I'll have to communicate with you through your email about the mailing address where I send the hat and t-shirt, and then I'll have to order them. I'll be right back. Special Master Taylor version. BrightChan, yeah. Okay, Pat asked what boards. At a minimum, politically incorrect, do it yourself, biz, and X. And I'll consider other boards if you're going to be a janitor for that board. Like I told Jessica, people might want video games, but I'm not going to be a janitor for the video game board, so you're going to have to be the janitor. My friends on 4chan, if any of you want to be janitors on a board, you let me know. And it also costs $100. I'm going to have to open up a new web hosting account at a different place than my Lambright.com. I don't want my websites to be taken down. So I think my friend Brian mentioned a web hosting service out of Germany. I'm not sure. I think it might be important for me to host this out of America. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. So I'll just find a place where I can host this in America. And all I really need are PHP server and MySQL. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to set up this software. But I've done it 15 times. And I have it working right now on my howtogetrich.com if you want to see what it looks like. Special Master, what did you upload there? Is that a drink? Okay, so anyways, if you want to donate, there's a GoFundMe at my Governor Lambright Twitter account that Jessica just set up, and for any donations past $100, you can become a janitor if you want. But I'll give you a janitor hat and a janitor T-shirt. These are going to be pretty rare. And then it'll cost foreseeably it'll cost you $100 to be a janitor per year. All janitors will have to pay $100. There's only two people I'll give it to as a gift, and that's Drift Speed and Pat. If you guys want to be janitors, you for free. Now, like I said, Murphy's Law is if I open this, there's a good chance on the same day 4chan will come back. Now, there's a good chance 4chan isn't coming back because I think that the excuse of it being hacked is bullshit. I think 4chan has been locked down, bulletproof for a very long time. You've got the world's best hackers, the 8200 Club, Israel's intelligence, electric warfare, 8200. I bet you those are the admin. And I think this is just a polite way for them to exit the marketplace. For what? I don't know. All right, Pat. I don't know why they chose to shut down 4chan in this manner. The only guess is Israel's about to do something and they don't want people talking freely about it. So 4chan is a very large freedom of speech platform, and maybe what Israel's planning on doing, they don't want these discussions. Did you see that 220 million postings came from Israel? More than half of all postings ever at 4chan came from Israel. So my suspicion was right, that it was run by Israel. I don't know if you know this, but I've also recently I'm not fighting with Israel anymore. You know, like, I don't condone what they do. I want to forgive 9/11. I want to forgive Israel for the USS Liberty, and I want to forgive Israel for the JFK, if they did murder JFK. We can't be going around doing an eye for an eye. Everybody's going to be blind. So, you know, if Israel wants to try to manage the whole fucking world, let them. Just let them. It's not really a fun job, and I don't want to do it. So let Israel do it, okay? Do you want the Africans running the world? I don't think so. Look what they've done to Africa. Do you want the Eskimos running the world? No. Do you want Christians running the world? No. Christians can't even make their own fucking bank. They're not that smart. We need smart people running the world. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the Jews. There's no Jews. You know, if you can't beat them, join them. I did. I don't have animosity towards Jews. I love Jewish people. They're fucking smart as hell. They're hilarious. They're vulgar. They're rude. They're loving. They're kind. They're giving. So I like Jews. People might say, oh, but they do some bad things. Yeah, so do Christians. There's always going to be bad actors in the world. You can't stop it. Some people are born to be bad, right? Jessica's super thrilled about opening Bright Chan. Yeah. We had heard, Jessica and I had a 2-hour talk today. We're both a little bit brokenhearted. We kind of like, 4chan was our club. I mean, it was maybe your club also. It's where we all hung out. And we've all seen some horrible things on there. We've seen terrible racism, terrible bigotry, but we've also seen lots of love and compassion. We've made friends. We've also laughed our ass off. There is the funniest content in the world was coming from 4chan. It was absolutely an intellectual joy. We're going to recapture all the joy and laughs. We're going to recreate the joy and laughs from 4chan. How many people will migrate over to my service? I don't know, but it's worth trying. Yeah. Why am I doing a GoFundMe? Well, you know, I do have the money to do it myself. However, I think you guys might want to be on the ground floor of something really fun. It's a way for you to feel ownership. It's kind of like we're all buying a Ferrari together. And this is a way for you to feel like you're a part of something on day one. Okay? Day one. So Moot never opened the door for you to be a janitor for $100. You would have paid $100 to be a janitor, right? And yeah. Let's talk about some growing pains. So I will launch the software, and we might be taken down. You know, the script kiddies, the trolls, they will probably try to take down the website, and it might have to be rebuilt many times. I don't know. And it is open source code, so hopefully if there's any errors, they'll get fixed. I'm not the best with GitHub, but it'll be at GitHub, and you know, we're going to turn this into something that works for us. Let's see here. Yeah. Drift speed created, he called it Lambright. And I just flipped it around and I'm calling it Bright Chan. So I want to give Drift Speed the credit for the inspiration for the name. Jessica also likes Bright Chan. When I opened it on my How to Get Rich, somebody wrote a script and they were flooding it with all kinds of spam. So hopefully these guys won't harass the site too much. And also, I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because they forced us. Like, they took away our community, politically incorrect, and I want to have something. I want to have a place where hopefully people will post and talk about global politics. Those are my true passions. And the reason is I believe that we collectively as a global consciousness can make the world a better place. All right. And yeah, just there's going to be good people and there's going to be bad people. I don't think anything's going to change. There's always that person who thinks it's funny to fart in a room and ruin the party. Yeah, that's going to happen. But we're still going to have fun. All right. I'm also very tolerant and accepting of people. So it's open to everybody. I'm not going to create any restrictions. And we're just going to try to adopt the rules that 4chan had. I'm not changing anything. And I'll eventually offer a pass so you don't have to do the CAPTCHA. I think that has to be written, though. So I'm going to have to either program it myself or hire some programmers. And instead of it being $20 a year, I'm going to offer the 4chan pass at $100 a year. The prices have to go up. Does that make sense? Maybe not 100 a year. Maybe 50 a year. It's $100 a year if you want to be a janitor. Jessica just said, I think she's in mind. Back. All right. Don't send me any more photos, Jessica. Yeah. So we've had 2 donations so far, and we got $14. Good job, people. Every little bit helps. I'm going to go over to Slashdot. So I also want to tell you about, so that's it for Bright Chan for now. Now I want to transition over to things I'm working on. I've committed to taking my ADHD drug Strattera every day for a week at least. I'm going to let Jessica know in the morning when I take it. I'm going to really try hard to get my life in order. Yeah. I'm moving my kitchen outside, and by Monday, I got 10 sheets of plywood. I'm going to build another room. on the south side and I'm going to make that my outdoor kitchen. And there's not going to be a roof on it, but there's going to be a painter's tarp. So I'm calling it my Roman kitchen, an outdoor kitchen. And I think I'm going to have like this is going to be the door. So it's going to, imagine the counters here with my stove cooktop. And then when I'm done, I close it like this so no mice can get up there. So that's how I'm going to make it rodent proof. If there's no roof, they can get in. So I'll have to build a roof over the kitchen part. So when I go to cook, I'll just like lift it open, do my cooking. I don't know. The next thing is I can't tell you what I'm doing entirely, but I'm doing another electronic project. I'm going to build a drone. I'm going to design a drone to fly. It's a survey drone. And the purpose of the drone is to fly an area of land in a sweeping pattern. So it's like, just imagine photographing a large area. So I'll just say like, here's an acre, and just go back and forth until you've done the whole thing. So it will take photographs of this predetermined size. The best way I can think of it right now is I either take GPS coordinates of the corners, or I fly the drone to the corner and say, you know, this is a corner post. Here's the corner post. Now fly within those parameters. And if it's running out of battery, then it comes back to me and gets another battery until the job's done. And then it's mapping software. So it's going to, like, maybe I use the Google API on their maps as part of something. Imagine the drone is looking for yellow flowers. So it's going to say, in this 1 acre, look for a special plant. And if you see the plant, take a picture and put it on the map. So that's kind of what I'm building. It's actually a little bit complicated. I'm going to be building the drone with Arduino, and it's got to have a camera. It's also going to need to carry some weight. I don't know how much weight, maybe like 2 to 3 pounds of stuff. Yeah. Also, well, I was telling Jessica, I'm kind of a masochist. I don't like having much comfort in my life. I think being comfortable makes me lazy. And she was saying, well, that's kind of a poverty mindset. And she could be right. Like, there was a Mercedes I wanted to buy the other day, and I got the money to buy it. It's only $5,000, and it's a special Mercedes called an S55, and it's a V8 supercharged with 500 horsepower. There's nothing wrong. It's high miles. It's 170,000 miles. Air conditioning works. But I feel if I buy that car, I'll be fucking off. I'll be having fun. I'll be going to town. I'll be taking women on dates. I'll just be jerking off. I'll be doing 100 miles an hour on the freeway, getting tickets. So that doesn't sound good to me. So, Pat, you're comped. Pat, you don't have to pay. You got lifetime privileges for free, okay? I'll even send you a free t-shirt and hat. Because I'm super grateful for your help throughout the years. And Drift Speed, you're also comped. So, and probably Charles. Charles sent me some really nice birthday gifts. He sent me some breadboards, a gold pan, and some high voltage capacitors. Yeah. And there's other people I might have forgot who will get comped also. You know, BrightChan is running a 4chan site. It's pretty risky. You're going to have people flooding it with illegal content constantly, but they're the ones breaking the law. So the moderation is, you know, there's a lot of work to moderate these things. But at the end of the day, if I might fork the VinChan and then make a new version with, you know, these improvements. We'll just have, you know, we don't know. It's an experiment. So when you do experiments, there's no failure. The only failure is not trying. So we're going to give it a try. And so by Monday, I'm going to have my outdoor kitchen set up. I'm going to clean. My house is very disheveled right now, so I'm just not getting things done because I'm just tripping over crap in here. And then I bought some wire for my electricity system. $1.70 a foot for 6-gauge stranded copper. Very expensive. Today I got to buy some copper fittings from Amazon and a crimping tool so I can make my wires to hook up all my batteries. And then I'm going to have to probably build a separate charging system just to charge the batteries in the day so I can have the air conditioning at night. And if I do achieve this, I won't have to be sleeping outdoors during the summer because I'll have AC 24 hours a day. And I might have to go buy more panels. I might have to buy another 10 or 20 solar panels. I'm fine with that. If I have to spend $500 or $1,000, I'm going to do it. I want to conquer air conditioning. So right now, I've spent I'm about $1,600 in batteries, and I have 5 lithium ion phosphate batteries. 5. There's only 2 out there right now. I'm going to have to build a very robust electric cabinet box so people don't steal my shit. And I'm probably going to build it out of brick. I'm probably going to build a cinder block electrical cabinet room with vents at the bottom and vents at the top so the air can go through there. And I'll put fans so it'll pump the air through it. And then I'll put rebar in every empty place, and then the rebar will be connected at the bottom like a hook, and then I'll fill all the voids with concrete. And then I'm probably going to have to buy a welder, and I'm going to make a fucking vault door. I'm going to make a steel door, and like when you lock it, it'll have the pins that go into the brick, like so the door frame will be metal with holes, and then pins will go through the holes. So I'm going to build it like a vault door. Like if I want to break into it, I might have to use a cutting torch. You'll be able to pry it open with pry bars and an angle iron. I'm going to make it really difficult for somebody to try to steal my shit. Then I'm going to put a chain link fence around it with razor wire on the top. I mean, yeah, you can cut through chain link fence with bolt cutters, but I'm also going to have a video on it, so you're going to be on video when you're doing it. And then I'll probably buy a Starlink so the video will be uploaded to the cloud if somebody breaks in to steal my shit. Yeah. Okay, next thing I want to start working on is a shaker table. And a shaker table is a method for extracting gold. There is significant gold on my property, and but it's gold dust. So it's like the hardest, well, it's just hard to get to because it's powder. So yeah, mercury could do it, but I don't want to play with mercury. So I'm going to build a shaker table, and I need to get a piece of plastic or like something. If I could buy like a 4 foot by 8 foot piece of like acrylic, like 1/2 inch acrylic, that'd be best. But that's really expensive. And then it needs to be an 1/8 inch groove needs to be cut. And then the groove at the end goes up. So there's, when the table shakes, the gold stays at the top and the dirt goes to the bottom. So you can see Mount Baker Mining. Jason from Mount Baker Mining, he sells a shaker table, but they're $9,000. So I think I can build one for $300. Yeah. I'll be making some money. I mean, I have plenty of pay dirt around here. Yeah. Hobby Lobby. What's with Hobby Lobby, Pat? What do you mean by that? The chat takes forever to show up. Yo, hey, Hobby Lobby. It turns, Jessica sent me a thing. There's $14 donated already, so that's good. Thank you for those donations. I bought a 36 pack of beer, and it took me 2 days to drink it. I blacked out for 2 days straight. It was great. And also, drinking lower alcohol beer is better for me because I'm not like hurting from a hangover right now when I drink the 8% beer. So that's nice. And I'm also going to go on a diet, and that means no beer. So I might be giving up beer for 90 days or so because I really want to lose weight. And I'm going to go probably just on an egg, cheese, and chicken diet, and half and half milk. I also might buy a bicycle and just ride up and down my street here in the evening for some exercise. Acrylic. Oh, Pat, good idea. Hobby Lobby for acrylic. Okay. Yeah. Then I'm going to go to a cabinet shop and maybe ask them if they can cut the acrylic on the table saw. Or I'll just I have a router. I can buy a router bit. I think I got a 1/2 inch Makita router. Makita? It's heavy as fuck. Like, I looked it up. It's like $100 router that I think I got for $10. But the chucks are 1/2 inch. I think that's true. So I've told you before, but if it's the first time you're visiting my channel, the day after I call it hangover day, I'm a little bit manic. I got like 20 ideas all at once. That's okay. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So as long as I write things down and I set some long-term goals, I can achieve it. I mean, I did make it through and working full time, and I got straight A's. So I can force myself to study. It's just really painful. But studying is painful for nearly everybody. I mean, obviously, there's people who just read something once and they can read really fast and they never forget it. I'm a person, when I am doing reading, my memory retention is it's very solid. It's very good. I'll say this. I'm not sure, and but I actually might be giving up. I might not run for governor. I'll tell you the logic. I think I'm running out of time. I think there's going to be a war with him, and I need to earn some money so I can get out of America. Like, how do I survive a nuclear war? The potential nuclear targeting area: Eastern Oregon, Northern Nevada are the safest place. That's about it. Every other place, the wind blows and you could suffer. So either I find a way to leave America, like Argentina, or I go to Eastern Oregon or Nevada and build a homestead there. I know that sounds stupid. It probably sounds paranoid. And I'll admit, I am paranoid. Running for president, I didn't expect to be, and I still think Israel think they paid those people to swat me. And we can't fight Israel. Like, Israel's too strong. They've got I don't know what their agenda is, but I'm just going to assume it's what we've been told, which is Albert Pike's 3 world wars, and that they're going to foment a war between political Zionism, Israel, and Arabic Muslims to complete annihilation. So Israel, the only way to drag America into a global conflict is Israel has to die. So Israel's probably going to nuclear bomb themselves, and somehow that might trigger a global nuclear war. I don't know. I know I'm crazy. I know I sound crazy. I get it. But like, nearly all the stuff that was said in the 80s about planned pandemics, biological warfare, all of this is coming true. I think there is a depopulation agenda, and I don't want to be part of it. I want to live. So, while the rest of America is worried about getting rich, I'm worried about staying alive. So I'm going to find a way to get to the southern hemisphere. Either that means Argentina, it could be Peru. What's on the Pacific? Let me take a map of South Africa or South America. I might even take sailing lessons. Like, that's how worried I am. And so, Chile. I might move to Chile. Maybe Uruguay. Chile, Argentina, or Uruguay. Those are the places I'm considering. Will Israel ever be stopped? No. Israel's a sacrificial lamb. Israel is this. The Masons created Israel 75 years ago as part of the 3 World War plan. And I really believe Albert Pike's letter is true. So, who are the smartest people in the world? The Masons. They're organized. We're not fucking organized. They got lodges in all major cities around the world. Okay? And they're a 200-year-old secret society, and they're all fucking rich. You cannot fight brains and money. These guys are running the world, and they're not involving the average Joe. Okay? So I'm not against the Freemasons. No, I'm not trying to take them down. I mean, I did try to join them, but they wouldn't let me join because I think I was running for president. Like, I went to 2 Mason meetings in my V12 Mercedes, $170,000 car. I dressed right. I had a name badge, but I think they investigated me and they're like, this guy's a crackpot. He's running for president. And they don't accept fools. So I just think I was too stupid for them. So I'm not against Freemasonry because I'll call myself a former politician. One person can change the world. It is possible. It's been done many times. Just look at the major leaders like Genghis Khan, Joseph Stalin, Pol Pot, Mao Zedong, Hitler, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, Jefferson, Jackson. History is riddled with individuals changing the world. So it's entirely possible. And I think my political ideas some of them have been adopted. However, in Sun Tzu Art of War, you need to know the enemy. And sometimes you can't win a battle. So the best victory is to not fight. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think my victory is to retreat. Are you going to run for president again? Right now, I'm saying no. I could change. Jessica and I hatched some pretty good ideas today. And so the drone is about making money. So I think when I get it working, I literally could be earning $5,000-$10,000 a month. It could be even more. It could be as high as $40,000 to $50,000 a month. It's not a service. I don't want to tell you anymore. I'm keeping it secret. I'm not selling this technology either. One reason I want to do this drone thing is so I can start playing with my oscilloscope and start working on, well, the other thing I came up with today is I'm going to approach venture capital and I'm going to say, do you want to invest in anti-gravity? The reason I need your money is really it's your connections, because I don't think the government's going to allow me to patent this. So why don't we try to patent it first? And since venture capital also has connections within politics, you might be able to help me avoid them calling it a national security issue. So if you can ensure that our government won't pull national security, then we can bring anti-gravity to life and start building anti-gravity cars. And since anti-gravity is actually so simple, we'll have global competition. So we'll need venture capital money to outproduce other countries. It's like a car, all right? So anybody can make a car now. So it comes down to, is your car affordable and how much is it, right? So we can't stop other nations from making cars. What we can do is outproduce other nations with a high volume quality product that's mostly inexpensive, like the Model T Ford. Henry Ford, what made Henry Ford better was that he copied the Chicago meat packer assembly line and brought that to the automobile industry. So instead of it taking 14 hours to produce a car, he was able to make a car in 1.5 hours. What can you get for 15 bucks cash? A couple hamburgers. Kusher. Well, I mean, if you donate money to me, we're friends. You know, you can say hi to me on Twitter. I don't like to have direct message conversations too often unless they're top secret. Like, I prefer that we have conversations so everybody can benefit from whatever wisdom we're going to be cranking out. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty excited. So I've given myself quite a lot of work to do. So I got to buy a stick welder, and I got to buy some metal so I can build this door for my electrical room. Pat, I want you to chime in on this. You don't want to, isn't it smart to have the electrical room separate from my living quarters? Because those batteries could self-ignite. Like, since the shit's made in China, I'm just expecting something to go wrong internally and they could catch on fire. And then once you get a lithium fire going, there's no stopping it. So I don't want to burn up my house. I'm going to put the electrical system away from my home. Isn't that smart? Maybe I'm wrong. Kusher. Well, I'm going to have a hat available soon. The hats are going to be $30. So you could buy half of a hat. You know, there's a Walmart sells, you know, the press-on T-shirt, like the iron-on decals. Well, they have a printer you can buy, and you can print your artwork, and then you can put your artwork on baseball caps through a special iron, or you can put it on a coffee mug. So I am thinking of making my own merchandise and then, shipping it out to people, stuff like that. Do you guys know that we are on the threshold of immortality? Like, if you're like, basically, if you can hang on another 10 years, there's a chance that immortality is going to be available. And they're not going to give it to poor people. So think about this. They're probably about to murder 7 billion citizens on Earth. So they're probably going to do biological weapons, and they're going to try to murder 7 billion people. Then, because of AI, immortality is going to exist. So there's going to be, the rich, the oligarchs, they're going to control AI, and then they're going to need a group of citizens to provide some labor. But they're also going to have the ability to murder anybody they want with these like robot dogs. And so I would say expect the world to become fascist. and expect them to just start killing people. I'm not supporting that. I'm just saying, if, you know, look what Israel's doing, right? So the world is going to mimic Israel's behavior, which is not loving or kind. And pretty soon, Israel's going to start to murder their own citizens. This is what fascism does. Fascism and communism, they murdered their own citizens. The dissenters, you're out, like dead. So this is why America's important. This is why freedom of speech is important. Obviously, we all know that Israel is meddling in America's politics, and they have subverted our constitutional republic. We are currently hijacked by a nation hostile to America, Israel, and we suffer this hijacking. And there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I've tried for 9 years, and look at me. I'm fucking suffering. I'm in the desert. They fucked me. The fucking code enforcement. I'm being attacked by so many different vectors. And I'm so grateful for this money my mother gave me. You know, so I'm bummed that my brother got $1 million and I got much less. But I am grateful for what my mother gave me, because I think I'm smart enough to turn that into a lot more. So I mean, I could be delusional and I could be lying to myself, but if I look at my history, I've accomplished many great things with little resources. So I'm highly resourceful, and I think I'll be able to pull this together. So I'm going to put together a 10-page business plan, and I'm going to ship it to all the venture capitals. I'm going to put it in the mail so they can read a paper copy. And I'm going to take like the top 20 VC firms on Sand Hill Road and just mail it to them. And then I'm going to cold call them and try to get a meeting. I also have one person who works at Bessemer Venture Partners, and I met with him in the past. So I'm going to call him and see if he'll be into gravity. And also, I think running for governor and trying to do anti-gravity just makes me look crazy. So from an outward appearance, I want to try to appear to be as sane as possible, even though I know a lot of people think I'm crazy. The customer's perception's reality. It doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what they think. So I'm also going to up my public image. Like, I'm going to buy a tuxedo, and I'm going to start going to basically events where I can wear a tuxedo. So in Palm Springs, there's different social events. There's symphony. There's different parties I can go to that are open to the public. And so I'm going to do that. So I'll work on my public image. I got my drone project. I got the shaker table. Instead of building the anti-gravity, I'm just going to see if I can raise money for the intellectual property and we'll just work on the patent. And if we can get a patent and the government's not going to shut us down, then I'll have access to all the money necessary. Like, literally, this puts rocket companies out of business. This puts shipping companies out of business. We can put anti-gravity on shipping containers and just fly them over one at a time from China to America in 10 minutes. Yeah, I might meet some Freemasons. I'm willing to join the Freemasons, but they want you to learn all this weird stuff. Like, you've got to memorize a whole bunch of things. Like, it's like being a Hollywood actor. Like, you got to remember like paragraphs. I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing that. Like, it took me almost a year to almost memorize The Great Dictator speech by Charlie Chaplin. How the fuck did that guy do it? Was he reading it off cards? You know, the one that opens with, "I'm sorry, I don't want to be an emperor. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone. Man, woman, Gentile, Jew. Human beings are like that." And that's all I can remember right now. So I think I know enough about the anti-gravity to get some investor to back it. You don't have to spend millions on me right now. What you do have to do is pay for the attorneys and then call your friends in government and say, Wayne wants to bring out anti-gravity. Are you going to pull national security? And say no. And if they can use their contacts, like at CIA and NSA and stuff, and they'll say, yeah, we're not going to allow him to do it. And then they'll say, well, we can't. You're right. You might have it, Wayne, but they're not going to legally let you do it. And if that's the case, then I might give up my citizenship and go to another country. The really great thing with anti-gravity is we can leave the fucking Earth. There's other planets out there with other human beings like us on there, just living a different life. Think about it. Jews could have their own planet of Jews. Imagine how much war they would be fighting with each other. We could arm them to the teeth and let Jews kill other Jews. Imagine how happy they'd be. A bunch of Jews fighting each other. Oh, they couldn't be happier. A planet of war. I think Jews in general, the Zionist ones, they're only happy if they're spilling blood. And when they can't spill the Goyim's blood, they'll just spill their own blood. They just want to kill people. They're just like a lion. They just want to eat. They love the meat on their teeth. They can't get enough of it. So why should we stop them? Like, let's invent anti-gravity and give Jews their own planet so they can kill each other. Right? And then for all the Christians who want to hug each other like some hippie festival, we can have a planet for hippies. We can have a gay planet. We can have a planet just for Africans where they can do their twerking and they could do sideshows and they can just be them over there. Then we can have a boring planet for white people who just want to live in peace. And then, of course, the white planet will be invaded by the black planet. Hey, white people, what's going on? Sure is pretty over here. Yeah, you got your own planet. Leave us alone. The flies were kind of bothering me. So guess what I did? I put out water for them, and they're not bothering me. They just wanted a drink of water. I don't know about you, but I'm losing my mind. No 4chan. I don't know what to do. Like, it's like the internet's down. It's like I'm twiddling my thumbs. So, Bright Chan, give me 3 days. I'll have something up and working. Also, expect them to crash it. Okay. High school student discovers 1.5 million new astronomical objects by developing an AI algorithm. Oh, that's cool. /. California browser form votes for 47-day cert durations by 2029. In a move that will likely force IT to much more aggressively use web certification automation services, the Certification Authority browser form, a gathering of certificate issuers and suppliers of applications that use certificates, voted last week to radically slash the lifespan of certificates that verify ownership of sites. I guess that's against Craig. Are you saying the God didn't other people's good enough for you? Are you saying the God didn't other people good enough for you? I'm not saying God said that. I'm saying that. I mean, I'm racist. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, the whole world is racist. Only America pretends not to be racist. Look what they did with this transgender stuff and the pronouns, right? Everybody hates it except for the transgender people because they're on a power trip that they're forcing us to they, them, or whatever. And we all know it's crazy. So once you realize that racism is normal, it's fine. Like people literally. We're back. So people, like, I was a Catholic for 53 years. I went to Catholic school. I was an altar boy. And I really love the teachings of Jesus. It's nice. It's loving, right? But, you know, when my life fell apart, it wasn't Christians there who were willing to help me. It was my Jewish friends, including my old landlord who I don't, you know, I was there 8 years, 7.5 years were good. And the last half a year, he was a jerk. Whatever. You know, I'm grateful for the good times. And I forgive him for being stupid. That's his problem. He had bad information. And he also operates on a lot of fear. Jews are super paranoid. As a group of people, they're very paranoid. Yeah, I just feel if you're a good person, you don't have anything to worry about. That's not entirely true. Like, I still got swatted because there's bad people in this world. So, you know, a certain amount of fear is kind of healthy in general. Like, I don't want to get a gun, but the chance of some asshole coming to my house does exist. So I'm probably going to buy a 22 rifle. If somebody fucks with me, well, they'll get 10 bullets from my 22. Maybe I buy 2 rifles, so then I got 20 shots. So they can start leaking. Probably get a shotgun. A shotgun makes more sense with buckshot, 9 balls of buckshot. That'll fuck you up. And then if I have to kill somebody on property, I am not calling the police. I'm just going to bury you out here. Yeah, we're back, Tetrahedricon. Sorry about that. I'm also thinking about leaving California. I'm probably going to move to Nevada. Nevada's got good gun laws. As Russia and China seed chatbot with lies, any bad actor could game AI the same way. Engineers want to bring home the world's oldest satellite. Oh, launched in 58, the awkward-looking Vanguard 1 satellite, the size of a grapefruit, is the oldest artificial object orbiting the Earth. Oh, that might not be true. What about the Dark Knight satellite? You know, there's a satellite that Nikola Tesla says exists. It's on a polar orbit from north to south, and it was put there by extraterrestrials. It's called the Dark Knight. He said he was receiving radio signals from it. And we know this to be true because he invented radio. So before there was other radios, who was sending that radio? Trump branded lab leak page replaces U.S. COVID information sites. There's never been a consensus or a smoking gun to explain what started the pandemic. I forgot to buy more Q-tips. Oh, China pits humanoid robot against humans in half marathon. I bet you China has a civil war. The people in China must be sick of their fucking manhandling. And I bet you people in China really value like our free speech because they don't have it. They've gotten a taste of the good life and they probably don't want to lose it to some 1984 fascist bullshit. China develops flash memory 10,000 times faster with 400 picoseconds. Ooh. Musician's brain matter is still making music 3 years after his death. What? OpenAI puzzled as new model shows rising hallucinogen rates. What? They're saying OpenAI is hallucinated 33% of the time. Hey, Squiggly. Thanks for coming by. Fresh tools that keep vintage Macs online are weirdly alive. What? With the Mac OS now 24 years old, Apple officially designated all Intel-based Mac minis as vintage or obsolete. Registrars take a look at the new internet tools that helps keep vintage Macs online and surprisingly relevant. You know, that Mac Mini is a lot of bargain for the money, for the dollar. This new Chan Hangout, laugh out loud. Well, it is for now, yeah. I'm going to open up brightchan.org in 3 days or sooner. I'm just terribly hungover today, so I'm only capable of talking. Got my air conditioning going. So nice. And you know what? I don't care if it's not popular. All I want are people to post articles about the news and we'll discuss it. And if it also turns out to be a pain in the ass, we'll just shut it down. This is where you guys come in. I need moderators. Yeah, Kiwi Farms. I don't like that community. I don't like it because they basically, you know, they have the laugh out loud cow. They call me a laugh out loud cow. And it's gang stalking. It's horrible what they do to people over there. I probably should sue them. So, but I'm busy. I'm busy, just fucking surviving and getting my life together. I really believe I would prefer not to sue. I'd rather just success is the best revenge. So in life, you got to learn to let things go. The power of letting go is really like a superpower. And I've spent a lot of time in therapy and stuff, and the best therapy is letting it go. Like renumerating over something, numerating over it, thinking about it over and over. That's not letting it go. Letting it go means letting it go. Yeah, I went to Kiwi Farms once in 2015, and those people fucking tried to ruin my life. No, Kiwi Farms is fucking dangerous. I'm surprised the founder of Kiwi Farms is still walking this earth. He's hurt a lot of people. When you hurt that many people, you're putting out bad energy, bad karma. So it's really dangerous what he's doing. It's dangerous for him. Users react to Blue Sky's upcoming blue checkmark verification system. There is no blue checkmark. There's a white checkmark with a blue background. Language is important, people. Oh. 4chan was important for me as a politician because it was a place to discuss political ideas. And my ideas, I think some of them are being adopted. I also like to keep my finger on the pulse of global politics to try to predict the next war. Who dies the most in war? It's not people in the military, it's civilians. Like Warren Buffett's sitting on $360 billion of cash right now. So he's exited the market because he thinks a crash is coming. And so if the economy crashes, then large chunks of the stock market will crash, but other parts of the stock market will increase, because if we have a war, then I said this long ago that we're going to transition into a wartime economy. We can't survive hyperinflation. So we're going to need some event is going to happen that will justify going to war. And if a real event doesn't happen, they'll have to manufacture an event. And if you look at most of these wars, the wars were behind the scenes manufactured by the Freemasons. You knew, like, some people knew that the Japanese were going to attack Pearl Harbor. Like, I think the evidence was there a week. And so they let it happen because we needed to go to war. So I think these Freemasons are going to bring us to war. Like, look, what the fuck are we doing with Russia? We're pulling the lion's tail, and the lion's got nuclear weapons. So, things like Mr. Wizard, America's been getting bad the past few years. Yeah, and it's going to get worse. They allowed Black Lives Matter to riot in 20 cities. Those were paid rioters. Riot for rent. And they'll do it again. George Soros is getting old, and I bet you he wants to see mayhem before he dies. So expect him to do more bad things. IBM orders U.S. sales to locate near customers or offices. IBM sales and cloud employees return to the office at least 3 days a week. I think IBM is a front for CIA. Yeah, World War III will be ritual sacrifice. They are planning all this already. That's what I think. So that's like why I'm saying I think I need to leave America as soon as possible. You know, the Jews left Hitler's Germany before the shit hit the fan. So if you've got an opportunity to move, why aren't you? Are you going to feel like if you don't have any money to leave, then you're not going to have any regrets. But if you had money to leave and you don't, you're going to suffer big regrets. Whoa, here's a nice French tent, tropical tent. Oh, $35. Sportsman guide. That's a cheap man. I want to buy one of those. That's probably a $200 tent. The government really paid $200 for that, and now they got new ones. Judge rules blanket search of cell tower data unconstitutional. Totally. A judge in Nevada has ruled that tower dumps, the law enforcement practice of grabbing vast troves of private personal data from cell towers. Do you know that that when you send a text message, it's not encrypted? Yeah. Netflix CEO counters Cameron's AI cost-cutting vision, make movies 10% better. Yeah. Hard drives have less environmental impact than SSD, Seagate says. Oh, let's ask Grok if you can buy land in Chile. Do any of you guys want to buy land with me in Argentina? We should just go down there and buy some land. My Twitter has become a little bit more popular. I had 340,000 people in the last 28 days. Can U.S. I'm asking Grok if we can buy land in Chile. I know you can do it in. Yes, U.S. citizens can buy land in Chile. There are no restrictions on foreigners purchasing real estate, including land, as long as they have a valid passport and obtain a Chilean tax ID number, RUT. The process involves a notarized purchase agreement and registration with local real estate registry. However, certain areas like border zones or indigenous land may have restrictions or require government approval. Consult a local attorney is recommended to navigate legal and tax implications. We could all live in a compound and yeah, Tetrahedron. Like literally, we probably should do this. I'm probably going to sell most of my stuff. Yeah, Brazil's fucked. No, I'm not. I'm not moving to Brazil. Favelas? No. USA defunded 4chan shutdown after it makes you think. Um, yeah, exactly. Argentina, I mean, they got Milei, and he's a crypto Jew. He's working hard for Israel. If we have World War III, Israel's moving to Argentina. I guess Australia is probably safe on the western part. Australia's got some nasty critters. Wow, an hour and 20 minutes. Peru has drugs. What kind of drugs? I mean, they got cocaine, right? Is it legal? I don't like doing drugs. Drugs are like sugar. The more you have, the more you want. Yeah, the Australian government is completely fucked up. America's not too far behind them. You know, I'm half Australian. I'm kind of dating a Finnish woman right now, and we talked about moving to Finland. She said Putin is building a house by the Finnish border. I said, well, that's good. That means he's not going to nuke the area. Drugs. I'm worried about cocaine. I've never tried it. I don't want to try it because I bet you it's fucking amazing. I bet you it's great. You know what's better than cocaine? Probably exercise, lifting weights, just getting high on exercise, like physical fitness. It's your body's way of rewarding you with joy. When you're physically fit, I think if you're getting high every day, it's kind of like a type of depression. You're not achieving your goals, and so you're just you're just imagining success instead of really having it. So you get high. I mean, look, listen, I just got 2 days because it's like a mental vacation. I don't remember what happened. It was great, but you also pay a price. Um, there's health consequences to alcohol. Thanks, Tetrahedricon. I've got a lot of years. I got like 23 years of sobriety. Not all at once. I had like a 5-year sobriety, 7-year sobriety, and then I would go out for 2 years and drink a lot. And I really created a lot of damage in my life. I lost the trust of people that I loved. I scared them, and like relationships are like a ceramic plate. Once you break it, it never goes back. You could glue it back, but it's going to have those fracture lines. So you got to be careful with your friends. You got to treat your friends with the highest respect, and don't scare the shit out of them with your behavior. I've lost nearly most of my friends over running for president. They're just afraid of me. I don't know why they're afraid of me, but they are. They're afraid of all those swattings. All that swatting stuff just scares the shit out of these people. I was dating this woman about a month ago, and once she learned I was getting swatted, she's like, oh, too dangerous for me. Yeah, politics is life in the fast lane. Little did I know. I didn't think it'd be this bad. Here's the good news. You can turn on your turn signals and get out of the fast lane anytime you want. What's the biggest ego stroke that we all have? And it's our own name. But we can change our name. You know, you can change your identity if you want. And you can change your behavior in a second. It's all up in your brain. Our brain is like a computer system, and our behavior is the software. And if you don't like what your software delivers you, you can format your brain and install different software and be a different person. It's literally that simple. Like, if I wanted to, I could go get a job making pizzas. I could be a pizza guy. I could move anywhere in America and start making pizzas. Or I could get a job selling firewood, or I could change my name and I could become a rabbi if I want to. We can do anything we want. We just don't know what to do. So most people have ambition, but they just don't know how to execute. I was telling Jessica today, like, I'm so bored with my life. I'm ready to be I said, like, when you work hourly wages, it's really no different from prostitution. You're selling your time for the lowest price possible. Like, I grew up in a small business family. Like, my dad was an entrepreneur, drug dealer, and my stepdad was a entrepreneur also. He was a contractor. He built kitchens. He did room additions. The guy was really smart. He went to a preparatory, like a college prep school called Don Bosco Tech, and it was a 5-year high school. And he said it was fucking hard, and he had to learn so much stuff. But he was really a smart guy, and he was a perfectionist. He built, like, when there's only one way to do it, the right way, make it perfect. He was Austrian, and he had a really good work ethic, and we only did things the right way. Everything had to be perfect. And my mom was the same way. It's a little bit neurotic. But those skills empowered me to have, basically, to invest my time in myself, knowing that if you believe in yourself and you have a long-term goal, you'll achieve it. Like, if I said, hey, do you think you could walk 2 miles? Provided you don't have like a bad hip or something. Yeah, I could do that. Well, how about 3 miles? Yeah. How about 4 miles? Yeah. Well, how about 30 miles? Well, I guess so. Like, so if you plan something, you can do it. Just give yourself goals. So like I'm about to build a drone. I'm not going to buy a working drone. Fuck, that's too easy. Too much money. I'm so cheap. I'm going to buy an Arduino, and I'm going to build a drone. I'm buying a drone kit. It comes with 4 motors and a controller. And I'm going to solder this bitch together and program it. And then I'm going to learn about it. I'm going to learn how it works. Then I'm going to put the GPS thing on it, and I'm going to create my own GPS tracker. Then I'm going to have to build a data logging. And then I'm going to have to build a Wi-Fi, so when it lands, I can Bluetooth to it and do a data dump, and then the data dump's going to write the software of what it just looked at. So it's going to take photos of the ground. I'll tell you, I mean, this isn't the primary goal, but basically it's going to be a survey drone. Like pretend you had to photograph every inch of 100 acres. So it's going to take top down, straight down, 90-degree angle. Perpendicular to the earth, 90-degree angle, photos of acreage. And then it's going to stitch them all together in a larger composite image. I don't think this exists. And you could use it for a bunch of different things. I've got a secret reason I want to do this. So I need to make it, this first drone I'm going to build is not going to be the final drone either. So this is just a prototype drone. Then once I get it working the way I want, I'm going to build a drone that has to lift a few pounds. I'm not sure how heavy. I'm building another device that will attach to the drone. Don't worry, it's not a bomb or anything. It's more survey equipment. Yeah. It would be, this device is literally worth millions. But you can't buy it. So I have to make it. So that's actually really fun for me. I love the hurdle of building something that doesn't exist. Tetrahedricon. It would be cool being a CIA agent and being able to have like 10 different identities. I don't think so, man. I think that would be actually pretty nerve-wracking. I've been watching a lot of spy stuff lately on Danny, Danny something, the podcast, Danny Jones podcast. He did an interview with a former KGB spy who came to America, but then he betrayed his homeland because he had a daughter here. And he got arrested by the FBI also. And he said most spies choose they keep their first name. And the reason is if they're in the mall and a friend from high school is like, hey, Wayne, hey, man, how are you? So their cover isn't blown, but they choose a different last name. And then you have to memorize your cover. Whatever your cover is, you've got to memorize it extremely well. So when you're being interrogated, which most likely happens at some point, if you fuck up, that you don't blow your cover. And also you could die. So like, do you really want to die for these elected pedophiles? Think about it. You got these politicians who are out fucking children and they're doing drugs and they're blackmailing people and they're basically the most gangster criminals you can imagine. I don't want to die for these fuckers. No, like they've lied to us. They've betrayed us. They're betraying all American citizens should be fucking furious. Like we went to war with England over a 2% tax on tea. Here we are. They're shoving it up everybody's ass. Americans are so fucked. We're so betrayed by our current government. And I'm giving up. I can't fight them. I've already told everybody like the situation. I just told you today in this broadcast that they're planning mass murder. Like they're going to try to kill 7 billion people. And that's not going to be 7 billion bullets. That's going to be biological warfare. Like, do you have NBC, nuclear, chemical, biological mask? I do. Let me get it. I'll show it to you. So this is here it is. This is a Polish copy of an American bulldog gas mask. Haberman It's going to go live in 3 days. If you want to be a janitor, you got to give me $100. So it's a, so here's my gas mask. You want the eye protection. That's really important. It's got a voice box so you can talk through it also. The other thing is you got a beard, you got to shave your beard. Or have the ability to shave your beard if the shit hits the fan. Also, these filters are only good for 300 hours. So you might want to get this. This mask is only $40. A time will come when you won't be able to buy these anymore. You'll be dead. So you can also get, if I was to buy another mask again, I would buy the one with the NATO filter. It screws on and it's like 40 millimeter. And I'm probably going to buy Jessica and her children a gas mask. So I'm probably going to buy 4 more gas masks. They're about $50 each. And then buy some extra filters. Oh, I'll tell you what my plan was. So I just found 5 acres of land, and it's got a little house on it. And it's pretty cheap, like 20 grand. And what I thought was, well, I could buy this. I could build a pond. I could dig a big pond and then line the pond with plastic. So I make an earth pond, and then I fill it up with water, and I put fish in there. And then I have like an island. I put grass in there, so bugs, and I create like a little ecosystem. This is not a pond for swimming. This is a pond to grow food, the fish. So if you make a habitat for bugs, then the bugs will come and live in the bushes, and then the fish will eat the bugs, and then I eat the fish. On Twitter, it's just showing a green screen. I mean, you don't see me right now? Oh, the Twitter is fucked up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me see if I'm doing something wrong here. See you in my next stream. Stay tuned. Well, you can go to YouTube. You can go to just search Wayne Lambright the third, 1, 2, 3, and you can find me over there. We got 98 people here, so that's cool. You also might want to get some iodine tablets. Iodine will protect your pancreas, something like that. Also, you want to get some plastic, like painter's tarps and duct tape. You might want to, this is a way, you got to look up protecting your home from radiation. If you live in a city and that city gets nuked and your building's not destroyed, then you're going to have radiation problems. Like, you might want to consider getting a street legal bike, so, and having enough fuel to leave the city, because there will be gridlock, and the only thing getting out of the city will be a motorcycle. And if you have little children, like, you probably can only take 2 or 3 kids on the bike with you. And if you have a wife, you might have, like, if you got 5 kids, well, both you and your wife will need to learn how to ride a motorcycle. and put your children on it. And then also, it would behoove you to hide supplies in the forest someplace, like dig a hole, like put a trash can in the earth and then cover it so it's waterproof. And then you like a tent and sleeping bags already in the desert. Plan, like have your bug out kit already in the bushes. Check this out. Now, I'm going to say some stuff that's really out there, okay? Hey, welcome, 100 people. I'm glad you're here. So let's say time travel's true, okay? There are stories of people from our future that have come to Earth, and they warn us that there's a World War III and it's nuclear, and it's the end of humanity. All right. So if the people controlling the world, the Balf, are Satanist, and they got that guy with the goat, he's got the horns, and he does the two-finger thing, Balfmont. If they are Satanists, they probably are going to murder us. All right. And so just take these rumors that people from the future are worried about a nuclear war, and they're not trying to stop it. And it doesn't seem like anybody in government's trying to stop it. Europe is all excited to go to war with Russia like there's some big prize. Yeah, getting your ass fried is the prize. You're going to die, Europe, you dummies. And if I was in Israel, I'd get the fuck out of Israel. Israel, most likely, is going to sacrifice their own people in a war. They're going to drag Christianity in a war against the Muslims. That's the plan. So get the fuck out of Israel. You can come to America. I think the safest place is actually Oregon. Do you know Eastern Oregon is mostly like desert? And the reason is Crater Lake, like say, this is Crater Lake right now. That's how tall it is. It used to be this big, and then it blew up, and it put lava over half of the eastern part of Oregon and the lower eastern part of Washington and Idaho got all the lava from Crater Lake when it blew up like 1 million years ago. Hey, you like my fish idea? That's pretty smart, right? Yeah. Yeah, you just put some plants in there and just a way to attract the bugs. And then the bugs will turn it into a home. Mm-hmm. You can also feed the fish pellets. If there's not enough bugs yet, you can feed them pellets. You can feed them scraps of food. Fish will eat all kinds of stuff. Just imagine, say, hey, restaurant, can I have all your green waste? Plant material, onions, pork, fat trimming. If it's rotting, the more putrid, the better. Then just dump that into your pond and the fish will love it. The fish are like garbage disposals. You know, chickens are also pretty good food. You just let them walk around and they eat bugs. You don't even have to feed them. And they'll eat bugs on the ground. And then they have to roost at night because it makes them feel safe. And then you get the eggs. Like literally, they're just free egg machines. Chickens. Have you seen that British guy? He's doing tongue in cheek. He's like, he's acting like a criminal. He's, hey mate, what? Fucking chickens. Yeah, you grow chickens. Guess what they give you? Fucking eggs. You sell them. Yeah. When they get old, you eat them. Chicken. Chicken comes for chickens. He's like, you just like fucking printing money, mate. It's hilarious. I told you that I might go into the alfalfa business, and in northern Nevada, they grow 800 million a year in alfalfa. It's just a grass. I'd probably go into doing that if I wasn't so worried about World War III. Like, look at Trump. Trump has fucking lied about nearly everything. So, I mean, I like Trump on some childish levels. I like that he's a bully. He's funny as fuck. He's ruthless. He'll make fun of anybody. I mean, he's a great, like, Trump is a stand-up comedian and a politician. He's a womanizer. He's a bully. He's probably fucking world-class golf. Like, I don't play golf, but I know it's actually a hard game. He's actually really, really good at golf. Trump is a beautiful liar. I love how fucking Trump can he spins the best lies. He's such a great liar. I mean, that's to be admired. Trump is a tour de force. He's impressive. The sad thing is that he's tricked people into believing his bullshit. So I don't know what blackmail Israel has on Trump, but whatever it is, it's super duper evil. And Trump is willing to sell America out for Israel. So what could be so horrible that he's going to sell us out for? Death. They're going to do some heinous shit. They're going to drag us into World War III. They're going to need to, our manufacturing base will still need to exist. It'll be like World War II. Like, why don't we just make F-14 Tomcats? We don't need F-35s. They're not stealth. You know what? You know how they see the stealth airplanes? Not by radar, with cameras. Cameras, a bunch of miniature cameras everywhere looking at the sky. That's how you can detect stealth airplanes. So a nation just needs to install like 30,000 closed circuit televisions over important places, and that's how you will detect stealth aircraft coming to attack you. That's not so hard to build. And then you have all those images going into AI, and AI is looking for airplanes, and they'll be like, hey, we got to, it's just like beep on the radar. So the future is, the new radar is images processed by artificial intelligence looking for airplanes. We don't need the beep, the thing that's spinning. We don't need those anymore. I mean, we could have them, but the new radar are photo-based radars. So chickens, fish, you need a couple goats. Goats are great because they produce milk. Cows are pretty awesome. I used to milk a cow. It's easy. I used to milk a couple goats. One of our goats' names was Waddles. I forget the other goat's name. Goat milk's pretty delicious. The other thing you should be learning is how to can vegetables. These guys who are preppers, they're geniuses. They see it. They're smart. And it costs money. So, like, if I wanted to make big money right now, I'd go into real estate. I'd get a job. I would go into real estate, and I would build a relationship with banks to sell repossessed homes. If they're going to crash the economy, the banks are going to own a lot of real estate, and they're going to need to get it sold quickly. So if you have build a relationship with banks to offload a volume of homes they're about to it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. So build that relationship now. Be like real estate bankruptcy liquidators. That's like the name of your real estate business. And people are like, well, it isn't a crash. It's coming, motherfucker. It's coming. I also don't think crypto's the future. I don't want to upset too many people. Like, maybe crypto's going to be good for another 2 or 3 years. But quantum computers at some point are going to break the algorithm. How about this? Like, if you want to argue that, no, there's no quantum computer, we don't have it, it's never going to exist, it's always going to be safe, I want to remind you of something. UFOs teleport from other from other star systems thousands of light years away, and they come here within a few minutes. There is technology in the universe somewhere that's going to be able to break Bitcoin. All right. So it's not forever. Now, the government might have already figured it out, and they're letting that technology out, but they might weaponize. Like, we might have the ability to crack Bitcoin, and we might use the ability to crack Bitcoin to do financial warfare against our enemies. You gotta, like, you really should study like Sun Tzu Art of War. If you search MIT Sun Tzu Art of War, they got the essay. You can read it. It's 13 essays. And we Americans are probably the best war fighters on Earth. I mean, the Russians are number 2. But we have technology and we've got information. So we're the dominant leader right now. But there's somebody more powerful than America, and that's the aliens. Like, those alien people, they got more stuff than we do. And they're smarter than us. So this is why I think anti-gravity should be a #1 priority for America, is so we can leave the Earth. Like, apparently the aliens want the Earth for themselves. So there's other planets out there. We should just be going to other planets that are peaceful. I got to share this picture I'm looking at right now. It's really pretty. Oh. I'm going to take us off the electricity. Look at that lake. Look at that. Looks like a house right here. Do you know how many lakes there are? There are like tens and tens of thousands of lakes. Stopping you from living on a lake. You know, you can make your own lake. When I was a kid, we had these neighbors, and they owned 17 sections of land, and they had 2 lakes. They made their own lake. And I used to go fishing. They let me go fish at their lake. And so that's where I got the idea for growing your own fish. They had a stream, so the stream brings in the food for the lake and the fish. You know, the forest is where you should be living. You can make a log home. You cut down some trees for firewood, so that's your heating for the winter. It's so fucking cold there, nobody else wants to live there. So your fence with barbed wire is the snow. Nobody's going to come attack you. It's just you're too far away. It's too to you. Nobody's going there. So your biggest problem is Mother Nature and bears. You just need bear spray and a 45 caliber gun or some buckshot. Never leave the home without your shotgun, kind of thing. I live in a place where there's bears, and it was pretty safe. Well, friends, we did 2 hours, and we covered a lot of ground today. Let me summarize. So if you want to be a janitor at Bright Chan, that's a $100 donation. You're going to get a hat and a t-shirt that says Bright Chan Janitor. And I'm going to mail that to you, and they're going to be autographed from me, cost $100. It's $100 a year to be a janitor. You have to show your photo ID to be a janitor, and because there's legal consequences to being a janitor, we have to maintain that we're getting rid of shit. These are the same rules as 4chan anyways. So I'm charging you to work for me. It's a privilege. And some of that money goes to pay for the servers and the bandwidth bill. Yeah. And we're actually hoping they bring 4chan back online. I don't really want to do this. This is a pain in the ass. Imagine being babysitters to 4chan. That's no fun, right? There's a lot of criminal elements that fuck with that site. So I talked about some new projects I'm working on. A drone project. I'm building an Arduino drone, a quadcopter. So it's got 4 rotors that are brushless, direct current motors, and I'm building it on Arduino, and I'm building a mapping software. I'm going to put my kitchen outdoors, and I'm going to clean up my place. I'm probably going to go on a diet and eggs and chicken and half and half milk. I got to lose weight. I'm going to probably quit drinking for 90 days. I'm going to buy a bicycle off Facebook or Craigslist for $100 so I can ride back and forth here, get in some real physical exercise. I'm also going to start selling my stuff. I'm going to sell my dirt bikes, and I'm going to sell probably my nice S-Class Mercedes. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't need it. My other cars are reliable. And I'm also considering leaving America. If I don't leave America, I'm going to move to Eastern Oregon or Northern Nevada. That's the best place to ride out a nuclear winter. I trust that Trump will betray us. That's what I trust. And I trust that Trump will take us to war. And I trust that the 3 World Wars by Albert Pike letters true. So if I'm wrong, it's only going to cost me 3 years of my life. I can always come back if we get another Democrat. But I do think Trump's going to allow himself to be a 3rd-term president. I might take sailing lessons. I might buy a sailboat and use that to go to Chile or Argentina and then sail the boat when I get there. I don't know. I'm going to have to build some friendships in Chile or Argentina. That would be best. I know there was one person from Paraguay who was saying, come live at my house, but he didn't contact. I told him to send me an email, but I wasn't able to build that relationship. I'm probably going to build some relationships with women on OkCupid, telling her that I want to move down there because of World War III. So I know it's all crazy, but this is what I'm working with right now. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, the notification, share it on social media, and my donation stuff is there. Also, I'm doing the GoFundMe. It's already got $14 there. That's nice. That's it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.